there is a freshwater mussel, and some of the ways these guys reproduce is they'll send out babies that attach to fish gills. Those babies are called glaucidia. The only way the clam can, or the mussel can reproduce is if it sends these glaucidia out, finds one specific fish species. So it can't attach to just any fish. Has to be a specific species. If that species of fish disappears, then that mussel will disappear. So keep in mind, mussels lack a pair of what?
Eyes.
So can they tell which fish species is near them? No. They can't see them.
Oh, I thought maybe right away they could smell them.
They don't have noses either.
They
What they've
hear
done,
them.
now keep in mind, the reason I bring up they don't have eyes is here's the little mussel hanging out in the water. So they know that these fish species are around. These are another fish species, so you see the ones kind of floating around. The species that it needs is a bass. So what you're looking at are smallmouth bass. Those are the bigger fish species around.
This is freshwater.
This is in freshwater, right? So there are freshwater species. So you see the fish on the bottom, you have the bass kind of hanging out here. So these bass cue in on the fish that live on the bottom of the stream. Now the clam decided, all right, if that's your favorite fish species, I'm going to make a lure that looks like the fish you like to eat. So this is not a fish. That is the clam. What the clam has done is make an artificial lure so it attracts the bass.
Oh
The
my
bass
God.
goes to eat it because it's flicking like it's injured. So when the bass attacks, which you'll see here in a second, or several seconds.
That's pretty good.
So it ejects,
Oh!
ejects the glaucidia, which now will attach to the bass gills. You can see they're showing the ship close up there.
no.
So there's the little glaucidia attaching on.
No way.
Now these guys will mature, feeding off nutrients from the bass gills. And once they are mature, they'll release the gills, and they'll go to another part of the stream and turn into adults.
But what happens to the bass?
So the bass, sometimes they're fine. Sometimes it depends on the species. They can be parasitic enough where it will kill the bass. But a lot of times, if that's how you need to transmit your offspring, you don't want to kill the
Host.
messenger, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to kill your host. So nature said, all right, whoever makes the best lure survives. If your lure doesn't look like a fish that this bass eats, he's not going to go near it. You don't get any offspring made. So only the mussels with the most realistic looking lure will spread their offspring. Exactly. Really? Nature? Really? The clam doesn't have eyes. How do you expect it to make something that looks like...
How do you know what the other fish looks like?
Exactly. Exactly. Mind just blown, right?
Mind
So-
That's
blown.
like unbelievable.
Yeah, so this clam makes a lure that looks like a fish that it lives next to but has never
So it
seen.
just happened to get
So
more
he's
that way.
happy as a clam.
Evolution.
Yep, so the closer, what probably happened is small kind of increments here. See, that one doesn't look nearly like
Yeah.
what the lure looks like, so that clam wouldn't be able to send its offspring along its way.
Huh.
Just random mutations along the way led to a clam
He's a good one.
making a lure that looks like a fish it lived next to. So that's how nature works.
Wow.
Kind of mysterious ways, right? So I thought you guys might enjoy that one. And not terrifying, right?
No.
Much appreciated.